Pokemon Legends Arceus has finally released! After the overall disappointment that was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, do these games justify the wait? Tons of other people already made videos about this game, so you probably already have an opinion. But mine is the most important. Because the introduction of this game contains a couple of spoilers, I'm going to skip giving a synopsis of the story and jump right into the gameplay. Legends Arceus is extremely different from every other mainline Pokemon game to come before it, as it bucks almost every tradition save the basics of combat. There are no gym badges, there isn't a league, the closest thing to an evil team is a group of bandits that show up like 3 times, and instead of being able to go anywhere you want in a region, you have a home base with 5 open areas to explore. These areas are filled with wild Pokemon walking around the overworld. Wild Pokemon can be divided up into 3 types: docile, skittish, and aggressive. Docile Pokemon won't do anything if they see you. Skittish Pokemon will flee, and aggressive Pokemon will try to take you out. That's right, now Pokemon will try to kill you! They won't finish you off, but if one knocks you out, you'll lose some of your items in your bag. Even rare items like evolution stones and nuggets can be lost this way, so do take care of yourself. If you do get knocked out, it's possible for another player to pick up your bag and return it to you, so hopefully nothing is lost forever. The main gameplay of catching Pokemon is a mixture of Go and the mainline games, but unlike Let's Go, it actually works well here. If you're stealthy, you can sneak up on a Pokemon and try to catch them without a fight. There's a noticeable boost in the catch rate if you hit the Pokemon from behind, and this is the best way to preserve the health of your Pokemon while progressing. But if you get caught or just want to do things the traditional way, you can engage in battle. While the general principles of battle are the same as always, just about everything else has changed. The biggest change is that battles are no longer each side picks a move, which are then performed according to the speed stat. Now the speed stat determines the order the Pokemon perform their actions in. As in, it's possible to take 2, or in some cases even 3 actions before the opponent can. Likewise, a swift opponent can take multiple shots at you before you can counter. The speed of your Pokemon can be impacted by using a move in Strong or Agile style. Strong style boosts the damage, accuracy, and even just the chance of additional effects occurring, but they will likely delay your next action. Agile style, on the other hand, reduces the power of a move or the duration of a buff, but in exchange it will speed up your action speed. Proper use of these 2 styles can drastically swing a battle in your favor, but strong enemies can also use these styles against you. A lot of moves got reworked in this game. Moves that used to lock you in for a few turns, such as Rollout and Outrage, now give the Fixated status instead. This increases the damage you deal and take so long as you keep continuing to use the move over and over again. This is a pretty interesting change and I mostly prefer it, but these types of moves also suffered a severe, and in my opinion, completely overdone accuracy nerf. Speaking of nerfs, generally no moves go over 100 base power now, unless there's a really serious drawback like taking half your health in recoil or really hurting your action speed. This didn't have much of an impact on the field battles though. If anything, they go quicker in this game than any game before it. There's only a single layer of attack and defense buff, and both these buffs affect the physical and special version of the stats. There's also a number of new moves in this game, most of which are signature moves, and they tend to be pretty strong. My favorite has to be Triple Arrow, which is a weak attack that afterwards lowers the enemy's defense while boosting your critical rate. Another standout was Take Heart, which cures any status ailment and then boosts all of your stats. The Pokédex has been greatly expanded, which is mostly a good thing. When you catch a Pokemon, you aren't given any information about it other than the ability to view its model and cry. If you want to learn more about it, you'll have to do some research tasks with it. These are simple tasks, such as seeing the Pokemon use a move, or feeding a wild version of the Pokemon. As you earn points for these tasks, you'll get more information, maxing out at 10 points. This is mostly a great change. Now you don't just have to catch them all, you're also going to have to use them all, and it caused me to shuffle the Pokemon in my team a lot throughout my game. The only problem with it is that after a while, these tasks start to feel more like chores you have to grind through. And there's over 200 Pokemon in this game, so you're going to have to do a lot of grinding. There is a reward for doing absolutely every task on a Pokemon's page, but that's just an extra shiny roll, so it's only really worth it if you really like a Pokemon. Surprisingly for a Pokemon game, especially one released in the modern day, Legends has some teeth to it. Wild Pokemon usually 2 to 3-shot my Pokemon, even if they had resistances, and the large amount of HP your low-level Pokemon start with is deceptive for how it grows late into the game. Aggressive Pokemon seem to make up the majority of spawns, and they can be a real nightmare to deal with. They have excellent vision, and many can snipe you from a good distance away, so you're basically forced to fight them whenever you see them. These factors combined mean it's not uncommon to be running around with a team of 6 fainted Pokemon. And this is all before I realized that wild Pokemon can actually team up in battles. Not everything about this game is perfect though. The plot is okay for a Pokemon game, but still not very good for a game period. Lightning has rained down on 5 Pokemon called Noble Pokemon, and now you have to go tame them. That's pretty much it until the last few hours of the game, where some big spoilers happen. What does end up happening is pretty interesting, as in interesting that a Pokemon game would do this, but it's also a complete retread of another Pokemon game, so it's not too surprising. The post-game storyline doesn't really exist, it's mostly just go here and catch this Pokemon, but there's a final battle that really makes up for it. Legends Arceus is really inconsistent with its tone and lore, and it's pretty hard to ignore. It doesn't take long for the whole "Pokemon are terrifying creatures" narrative to get thrown out the window, with the tidbit that Alola has their ride Pokemon system up and running before the start of the game. For those of you who have forgotten, Alola's ride Pokemon system is a rental Pokemon system, where children as young as 11 can ride Pokemon that include Tauros and Sharpedo. Meanwhile, the people of Jubilee Village have trouble when some pesky Bidoof come and invade the village. And before you, no one has ever managed to catch 3 Pokemon. The design of Hisui also clashes with the Sinnoh region we're used to. Snowpoint Ruins is right next to Lake Acuity, which is very far away from the area that becomes Snowpoint City. The area that becomes Ramenas Park is an island, while in the remakes it's part of the mainland. And as a final example, the Crimson Mirelands clearly become the Great Marsh, but it stretches all the way up to the Solaceon Ruins, which has no room for a town to spring up out of. These obviously don't affect the gameplay, but we've just got a Sinnoh remake, so it's odd how inconsistent the world is. There are 3 elephants in the room we have to talk about when it comes to the designs of Pokemon in this game. Now, these 3 designs come very late into the game, one coming in at the very end of the post-game, so if you haven't played the game yet, you might want to skip to this time code. Dialga and Palkia are 2 popular Pokemon in this series, but there's a small but vocal group of people who think they're over-designed. This game seeks to fix that problem by creating new forms for these Pokemon that look completely unfinished. Dialga has a laser cannon stuck in its throat, while Palkia has lost its arms. I've seen some rumors before the game came out that these were going to be like ruined forms, where they couldn't use their full power, and the reasons behind this was how Dialga had something stuck in its throat so it couldn't use Roar of Time, and Palkia couldn't use spatially rend stuff because it didn't have arms. That's not the case at all. In fact, these forms are actually power-crept versions of the original forms, because they take 20 points from attack, which neither of these Pokemon use, and pour them into other stats. Now, Palkia's new form isn't the worst thing I've ever seen from this series, but Dialga's might be. The worst part about these forms, in my opinion, is that these are the origin forms of Dialga and Palkia. Once again, unlike Giratina, where the origin and the alternate form have 2 different playstyles and can both be used, there's virtually no reason to use the original forms now that these 2 new forms have come out. But if you thought those 2 were bad, just wait. Everybody's favorite legendary trio got a new member in this game. That's right, there's now a 4th Genie in Pokemon! And unlike the other Genies, this one is fairy-flying. Now, I know you're very excited about this wonderful change that surely will not ruin the meta, but please contain yourself because you can only get this Genie at the very end of the game, and then it's not annoying at all to catch. At all, I swear. I know Pokemon games are ugly now, and they have to be ugly because it's not like this is the world's biggest multimedia franchise, but it would be nice if we could get some nice looking games for once. Like, I've seen people compare this game to the GameCube games, and I kind of want them to apologize because the GameCube games still hold up, unlike this game which came out looking bad. They don't look absolutely terrible like some of the trailers made it look like, or some of the meme photos. But throughout the whole game, I don't think I was ever impressed, even though whenever you enter a new area, they have all these shots that are supposed to impress you. Overall though, Legends Arceus is still a great step forward for a series that's been in some serious stagnation. Just about every change they made has been for the better, while those that didn't turn out so well can usually be overlooked. The game is pretty grindy, but most of the time what you're doing is still fun. I'm really hoping that Generation 9 takes some big inspiration from this game, or at the very least we get some DLC. Hey everybody, welcome to your favorite part of the video, that everyone always gets to. This is the part where I beg you to like the video and leave a comment and subscribe to the channel and buy my merchandise. I don't have any merchandise, so that's one thing off your checklist. I'm going to talk unscripted for this part of the video to talk about what's coming up next. I am 99% sure the next video is going to be another One Step for Eden video because those ones do well, and I'd like to finish one series on this channel, considering stuff came up and I'm not going to be able to finish the 2 Fire Emblem series. But after that, I found this one game on the Switch that I used to love, so I re-downloaded that. And I might make a video on that. I don't know. Might just be more One Step from Eden. Might be something else. Who knows? I don't. So yeah, once again, if you enjoyed the video, please do all the stuff you're supposed to. And tune in next time for when we figure out how to play Reva the Knight, the easiest character to play in the game.